Quick disclaimer, guys, I'm recording this one before the start of the 2025 AFL Grand Final, so it's either going to be happy days for Brisbane, we're celebrating a premiership, or sad days for Brisbane, happy days for Queensland in general because I'm a Suns fan, because Brisbane lost. Either way, Queensland's happy. Let's get into the video. Hello everybody, Cooper here. Welcome back to another AFL rebuild. It is my final, not my final AFL 26 rebuild. I'm not willing to commit to that just yet, but it is the last club that I need to do, apart from Port Adelaide. Largely, you know what I mean. I hope you're doing very, very well. I've actually just simulated through to the end of 2025 because I figured we didn't really need to rehash the season that we've already done. We actually finished in 8th and lost to Hawthorn in the grand final, which was a bit of a shame. We actually got pumped in the end, but we are right here in the midst of the trade season, free agency, all of that good stuff. And to my understanding, I think Brisbane are going to be pretty busy. There is a lot of uncontracted players. The only player that I have re-signed already is Dane Zorko because, believe it or not, I don't think he's going to be going anywhere. But there's the likes of Devon Robertson, Calamarchi, who looks like he's probably going to be moving to Adelaide, so I'm going to try and make that deal happen. Brandon Starcevich is going to be moving to West Coast, I believe. I think he's got a pretty hefty offer there, amongst a whole smattering of others who could potentially be moved on. But we also need to think about the players that are coming in. If we have a look at free agency, we go have a look at the restricted free agents. Oscar Allen has committed to joining us, as has Sam Draper. What that means for our other key forwards and ruckman, I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to operate on the assumption that we have lost the grand final, because I think that makes this video more interesting. Do they solve the problems that we do need? Oscar Allen, yes. Sam Draper, probably not as much, because I think our rucks are fine. But I think there's going to be a few other sort of under-the-radar moves, which I'm going to be trying to make this rebuild a bit fun, because it seems silly rebuilding a team that's in the grand final. These are not going to be big tweaks, just minor adjustments to get us closer to a premiership, assuming that we've lost. And our first trade period is now done, as well as our free agency, and I'm very happy with the moves that we have done. A lot of them quite predictable, but that is for good reason. Our first of which was sending Starcevich, McLaughlin, Devon Robertson, and Connor McKenna over to the West Coast Eagles for pick 20. A very, very easy deal for us. We get pick 20, which we've actually kept, because we did trade away our first round pick. You'll see that in a minute. We also picked up another first round pick, which we forwarded on to Sydney, Calamarchi, Lincoln McCarthy, and Darcy Gardner off to the Adelaide Crows. We also picked up Charlie Ballard as another just sort of third choice key defensive option. I think he's going to be very, very handy. Torrent, Ryan Joyce, and Lester pop across the road to the Gold Coast Suns. And now this is where we get a little bit interesting. Charlie Cameron hasn't had the best of seasons, but I want to get sort of another really, really good small forward in the building. We send pick 15 and 17. 17's our own pick. 15 is from the Adelaide Crows. They both go to Sydney for Will Hayward. And then Carlton are going to lose a whole bunch of ruckmen, DeConing one of them. And we decide to give them two of them for an unused draft pick. We get a future second from them. We also did one or two bits of business in free agency. Yes, we got Oscar Allen. Yes, we got Sam Draper. But we also pick up Alex Sexton on a 2-year deal. Everybody else has stayed. So as I said, fairly predictable free agency and trade period outside of a quiet few. And around the league, you can see that Jack Buckley's been traded to Fremantle for Corey Wagner. Connor McDonald to Carlton for a future second and pick 25. James Warple signed with West Coast, which is actually quite surprising. Darcy Tucker's off to GWS from North Melbourne. Dylan Moore's been traded to St Kilda along with pick 25 for the 5th overall pick and pick 43. Patrick Voss is off to Melbourne. That is comical. Jack Bowes off to the Western Bulldogs for pick 47 and Ryan Gardner. Sam Walsh has been traded for a bag of chips. Josh Weddle's off to the West Coast Eagles as well, so the Eagles really starting to load up. Max Hall's been traded from the Saints to the Giants, and that appears to be it. Now, as I said, we did pick up a second round pick, and we are going to enter the draft at pick 20, which is a lot earlier than I anticipated before the start of the video. So we'll have to have a look and see who is available from the Under-18s Championships as there is a key defender here in Jeremy Worrell, who is a intriguing option. He's a Western Australian, kicked 4 goals in the country championship, so I think we're going to pick him up. We do need another key defender. Obviously, we've got Harris Andrews, and we just picked up Charlie Ballard, so I think he is going to be a good fit for the future. I don't expect him to feature too much in the video though. And after all of our business is done in the draft, I think our simple objective, we've made a grand final this past year, let's just try and win a premiership. We've got a bit of money in the bank to wiggle around, and we've got Sydney in a pre-season fixture. I think it's in Sydney, which is going to be a little bit annoying, but not the end of the world. And we take care of business on the SCG very nicely with a 11-point win. Callum Mills with the 3 votes. Hugh McCluggage with the 43 touches. The Scottish Suitcase does very, very nicely. And round 1 in 2026 is going to be at Marvel Stadium, which is actually quite surprising. Looks like Jack Buckley's already got off to a good start at Fremantle. Let's have a look at our starting lineup for the 2026 season. We've got Zorko in a back pocket, Harris Andrews, Tom Duday, who, I mean, I'm just amazed he's still playing football. It feels like he hasn't been around forever just due to injury. Darcy Wilmot, Jack Payne, Zach Bailey across halfback, Will Ashcroft, Dunkley, Fletcher, McCluggage, Neal. Possibly the best midfield in the AFL. Possibly. Sam Draper in the ruck, Will Hayward, Logan Morris, Levi Ashcroft, Kai Lohmann, Oscar Allen, Charlie Cameron, with the Big O, Jared Berry, Cam Rayner, Eric Hipwood, and Charlie Ballard as the sub. Should win this one, you would think, up against the Bombers, and we do in a high-scoring game. 14-point win, Josh Dunkley with the 3 votes after 4 goals and 35 disposals. Very, very impressive. And then we've got the Pineapple Grapple in round 2. I refuse to call it the Q Clash, but we are going to call it the Pineapple Grapple. Let's see how we go in this one. We go in unchanged. It's another close one. Gold Coast are up by almost 30 points in the 4th quarter, but we get it done beautifully. And they get all 3 Brownlow votes as well, which is hilarious. I don't care. We won the game. I'm going to meet up with you guys in September. I'm assuming we make finals. I hope that is the case. We'll see how we go. Come to the start of September now, and we have made the AFL finals, which is lovely. We finished in 2nd place, 1 game behind Collingwood, and we've got the Western Bulldogs in a qualifying final. We've got the home ground advantage, which is lovely. We ended up winning 18 games, lost 5. We were very, very good in terms of our season objectives. We did avoid losing 4 games in a row, but we didn't end up winning 8 in a row. We never really got close to that one. I think our highest might have been 5. But still a very, very good season. And it looks like Logan Morris has won the Coleman medal. Not that that is our primary concern right now, as we do have a round of finals to play. The lineup hasn't changed over the course of the season, so hopefully we can get through these finals unscathed as we beat the Western Bulldogs at home by 49 points. Oscar Allen kicks 4. He hasn't really kicked a lot of goals this year, Oscar Allen. Apparently he's kicked 40 now. He hasn't really popped up amongst the leading goal kickers for us over the course of the season. I know Logan Morris has kicked quite a few big bags, but we now have a home prelim. I don't know who it is against. It is against Hawthorn, which is going to be an absolute ripper. They finished down in 8th, which is actually a little surprising for them. But hopefully we can get through to the grand final. We lose, unfortunately, by 40 points. Ow, that is a shocking second half. 14 goals to 7. Really, really poor. Jack Gunston, the former Lion, very, very short-term Lion, kicked 4. Disappointing performance by us, but we've got another season to build up our premiership hopes. And Jai Newcomb wins the 2026 Brownlow medal, actually tied with Tommy Liberatore. Did very, very well. The highest polling Lion was Hugh McCluggage, did very well. Logan Morris, as discussed, did win the Coleman medal, was very, very good. Levi Ashcroft down the bottom there as well. Oscar Allen with the 36 goals on the year. That is some fantastic hair by Steve Lang. I was going to say Scott Lang, it would have been hilarious, but he wins the Rising Star Award. Did any Lions win All-Australian selection? Jack Payne got some representation in there. Logan Morris, obviously. Oscar Allen as well, and Lachie Neale on the bench. So a bit for us to do in this off-season. I think just improve this round. There's no real weakness in our team right now. Who ended up winning the Premiership? We should have a look at that before we wrap up Season 2. And the Hawks get it done. They win by 5 points, holding off the very fast finishing Western Bulldogs. Jai Newcomb with the Norm Smith medal as well was very, very good. I'm going to have a look at our contract situation. Hopefully there's no real big contracts that we do need to take care of, and there's actually quite a few. Dane Zorko is one of them. Lockie Neal and Will Ashcroft are contracts that need to be extended. The Big O as well needs to be looked at. We'll see what else is on our list. Zach Bailey I've just seen is another one. But we do have a lot of money, about $5 million to spend in free agency. Obviously, we've got to take care of our own first, and then we'll have a look around, see what the rest of the league has to offer. There have been some good bits to this offseason. There's been some really bad bits. We're going to cover the good bits first, and then we're going to cover the bad thing I did. There's a trade I did with Carlton, which was very, very good. We traded away Lockie Neal, Eric Hipwood, a pick 16, pick 34, in exchange for Jacob Wiedering and pick 15. Lockie Neal was out of contract, and we've got far too many good midfielders that are a lot younger than Lockie Neal. As much as I like Lockie Neal, I think it's probably best that we mutually go our separate ways. We bring in Jacob Wiedering, who, there's a bit of an exodus going on at Carlton right now. We get an extra pick from them, which we are going to send to the Gold Coast Suns in a minute. We'll cover that in a sec. We also picked up pick 8 from Fremantle. We just did sort of a dump of a few different players, including Worrell, who we picked up with pick 20 last year, is a Western Australian. So I guess that deal is slightly, there's some realism in there somewhere. But I'm going to show you this deal on screen now. I was not paying attention when I put this deal through. I was sort of trying to get the Jake Rogers to Gold Coast deal done. I put in Marshall, who is an academy prospect of us. Rogers is obviously an academy prospect of the Suns. I put in the 8th pick and the 15th pick. Neither of those went through. I accidentally put in Charlie Cameron and they accepted the deal. So I did not mean to trade Charlie Cameron, nor did I really want to trade Charlie Cameron. So he's now on the Gold Coast Suns. We've got Jake Rogers, who I guess is the Charlie Cameron replacement. I'm really sorry, Charlie Cameron. We also picked up some free agents as well. That is not where I want to go. We picked up Stone Cold Nick Vlosten and Jamie Elliott, because I feel like Jamie Elliott would fit in quite nicely with us now that we don't have Charlie Cameron. And Stone Cold Nick Vlosten, we needed another defender off of half back. And he was available, so we signed them both. Actually, Elliott's on a 3-year deal, Vlosten's on a 2-year deal. We've got a couple of uncontracted players right now that we are not going to bring back, so we are just going to delist them right now. We've actually been proposed a trade offer from the Adelaide Crows for Kai Lohman. I am going to decline that offer. I am not entertaining any other trades. Darcy Wilmot for pick 3. I've already had a look at the draft prospects for this year, and they are not that great, so I'm going to decline that one as well. And our first pick in this year's draft is in at 52. And I don't think there's going to be a lot for us to do in this year's draft as per usual. We're just going to be having a look at the best talent available, bringing them in and hoping they can provide something to us. Billy Wilson is going to be our first selection. Just a young man with a bit of potential. Very happy to bring him in. And we're then in at 63 as well. I think let's just go for some mature age talent. I've seen that Tommy Cole is available. I'm very happy to pick him up. I can't believe he wasn't picked up by the West Coast Eagles, or his contract wasn't extended by the West Coast Eagles. Same with Jack Petruccelli. What are the West Coast Eagles doing? Ryan Marich is also available. We're going to pick him up. I don't know. Are the West Coast Eagles on some kind of mission to just blow up the joint? I have no idea. Noah Answorth was a former player of ours. I think we must have delisted him. We're going to bring him back. Why not? And that brings to end, quite frankly, just a bizarre off-season. But hopefully we can get through, win a premiership in 2027. We're going to be meeting up with the Saints in pre-season. And we get a very nice win by 34 points at Brighton Homes Arena. I just picked an auto-generated team. Cookson kicks 4, which is very nice. New team for the 2027 season. We got Vlosten, Andrews, Darcy Wilmot, Zach Bailey, Jacob Wiedering at centre halfback, looking very, very good. Dane Zorko, the former skipper, Jasper Fletcher, Will Ashcroft, Jared Berry, Dunkley, McCluggage, I mean, when you look at that midfield, you take Lachie Neale out of it, it's still very, very good. Oscar McInerney in the ruck, Levi Ashcroft on half-forward flank, Oscar Allen, Kai Lohmann, Will Hayward, Logan Morris, Jamie Elliott. I'm sorry, Charlie Cameron, I really am. Sam Draper on the bench with Cam Rayner, Jake the Snake Rogers, Tom Cole, and Jack Petruccelli as the sub. Our team is an 85 overall, looking very, very good. And somehow we lose our first game of the season at the Adelaide Oval. Putrid behaviour. And we've got our second pineapple grapple of the video. Let's see how we go in this one. In an unchanged lineup, we get our revenge. Charlie Cameron does not, do much in this one, to be perfectly honest. I don't even think he played. Hugh McLeod with the 40 disposals, Logan Morris with the 4 goals, going to be looking to go back-to-back in the Coleman medal. Let's see if we can find Charlie. Did he even play? He did play, no goals, 15 disposals, 50 fantasy points, was really, really quiet. It's what I like to hear. Let's meet up in September once again, and hopefully we can fare a little bit better than last season. A little bit of a shaky finish to the home and away season, but we still finish on top of the ladder very, very nicely. 19 wins, 4 losses, 2 games clear of St Kilda, who we did actually lose to in the final 5 weeks. But we've got the Crows in a qualifying final at home. Should be favourites, you would think, to win this one. Let's see how we go in the simulation. We lose by 8 goddamn points. Josh Dunkley does get best on, though. Yikes, okay, let's hopefully not choke in straight sets Adelaide style. We've got the Giants now at home in a semi. I hate this game sometimes, I really, really do. Okay, let's just get through to the end of the home and away season. I really hate this game sometimes, and you've got to be kidding. Lachie Neale wins a Brownlow medal. Josh Dunkley with the 26 votes finishes in second. Dangerfield in third, tied with McCluggage for 23. We trade away a Brownlow medalist who wins his 3rd Brownlow medal, and we go out in straight sets. I cannot believe it. Logan Morris, 41 goals, finishes 5th in the Coleman. And Adelaide win their 2nd grand final in club history over St Kilda, obviously their 3rd flag overall, and they win actually 30 years to the day, which is quite funny. Jordan Dawson with the Norm Smith medal. Very, very interesting. Such a frustrating season. We've done really well so far, but 2027 has not been kind to us. Let's see who is out of contract in 2027. Kai Lohmann is, Tom Doedee. I'm ready to move on from him. Logan Morris. Might want to seek a move back to Victoria. Wait and see how that plays out. Darcy Wilmot is probably the only other high-profile player that we do need to have a look at. We'll wait and see. We are sort of quite tied up with our financial situation. We'll have to have a look around the league, see who is a free agent heading into this season. Restricted free agency is quite busy with a lot of very, very talented players. I'm going to have a look around the league, see what we can conjure up. I know in the draft, we probably can't have a look at the draft pool. Yes, we can actually have a look at the draft pool. I can already see there is a really good key forward prospect in Landon Kelly. Had an okay country championships, 4 goals, 12, not ideal, but trading away someone like a Logan Morris, I don't think that gets us any closer to a premiership. There is a Logan Topley, who is a very good utility. There's a lot to consider for this off-season. This off-season, I did not mess around. We did a lot of our work in the trade period. We made 5 trades. We sent Charlie Ballard back to South Australia, along with pick 34 to Port Adelaide. We get pick 26 from them in the 2nd round. Jack Petruccelli, Tom Cole, and Ryan Marriage, who we've all picked up over the course of this video. We're sending them back to the West Coast Eagles for a future 2nd. Tom Doedee and pick 53 are heading to the Western Bulldogs in exchange for pick 29. We're just loading up on draft picks, getting rid of a lot of salary and expired contracts. Now, on the surface, this deal might look a little bit strange. We're sending Jared Berry and Will Hayward. Will Hayward's actually going back to the Sydney Swans in exchange for Corey Warner, pick 25, and pick 36. There's more to this deal, which we'll get to later. And then we did a salary dump here with the Adelaide Crows. We sent Sam Draper, pick 16 and pick 36 over to the Crows for a future 1st and pick 20. Now, we did make 5 trades, and I did say we did a lot of our work in the trade period, but we also picked up Max Gawn, Caleb Sarong, and the Chad Warner. Max Gawn, Melbourne have been absolutely crap the last few seasons, so he's finally had it, and we are going to put him next to the Big O in the ruck. Realism just went out the window, guy. Max Gawn's left Melbourne. I mean, there's nothing much more to say other than that. Caleb Sarong, obviously a free agent, has signed with us, and the Chad has joined his brother Corey north of the border. Very, very interesting. We're currently over the salary cap by about $900,000, and we still need to sign 16 players. Hence why I loaded up on all of those draft picks, and I am going to have to tinker around with a few salaries to get back under the cap. But we enter the draft at pick 20, and we'll see what we can come up with. Hopefully, one or two. I did not mean to simulate that pick, but we've picked up the Delhi man, Victor Delhi. That was not what I had in mind, but we're back in the draft at pick 25. Oh, what is happening here? Okay, let's try again. Go to the Under-18s Championships, and Zayden O'Brien, that is a fantastic name. He is playing for Victoria, was playing for Victoria, because we are now going to draft him with the 25th overall pick. And we actually have back-to-back picks, so I believe this is Jai Clark. He's not been picked up from Geelong, so we're going to take him here. He's probably not going to play a great deal, but we're going to just load up on the mature age talent as we normally do. Logan or Lawson Humphreys, another one of Geelong's young core. We're going to pick him up with the 29th pick. We get the win over Carlton in the preseason. Will Ashcroft does very, very well with the 35 disposals, and I'm very, very much liking this team. We've gone for a bit of an unorthodox selections process. We're actually playing Cam Rayner at full forward because Logan Morris obviously is very, very good, but Oscar Allen is just starting to decline, even though he is only 28 years old. So I will be in the market for a new key forward next season. Where we're going to send him, I have no idea, because I believe his contract may even be expiring next season. We'll see how we go. But we've got Vlosten, Andrews, Darcy Wilmot, Chad Warner off of halfback, Jacob Wiedering, Dane Zorko, Fletcher Sarong, Dunkley, Ashcroft, McCluggage, Gawn in the ruck, with Levi Ashcroft, Logan Morris, Jake the Snake Rogers, Jamie Elliott, Cam Rayner at full forward, Kai Lohman as the subbers in the forward pocket, with the Big O, Zach Bailey, Oscar Allen, Jai Clark, and Victor Delhi, who we accidentally drafted as the sub. Hopefully, GWS are kind in the opening game of the 2028 season. We get the win at the Gabba, very inaccurately kicking 5 or 15 goals, 23 I should say. McCluggage with the 3 votes. Who kicked all the behinds? Aaron Cadman kicked 4 behinds for the Giants, as did Jesse Hogan. Jamie Elliott 1 goal for, really bad for us. But we get our first win of the year, and we actually have West Coast in round 1. Hopefully we can get the win over in Perth as well. We'll see how we go. We'll keep the same team for the course of the season as we normally do. And we get a nice win over in Perth. 45 points. Jake Rogers getting amongst the Brownlow votes early in this year. Might be a year for him to get the Brownlow medal. Bring one back to Brisbane. Let's see how we go. Hopefully we don't go out in straight sets once again. Just realised my mic was muted up until right now, so that is highly annoying. We've lost to GWS in the opening round of 2028. Not ideal. Hopefully we can do a little bit better in the semi-final at the Gabba. If we go out in straight sets once again, I'll be very, very annoyed. Carlton now are the opposition at the Gabba. We get the win. We're through to a prelim, which is fantastic. Who gets best on? Patrick Cripps. Of course he does. Naturally he will. And now we've got the Crows, who finished on top of the ladder, 21% higher than us, but we did finish on equal points. We're going over to Adelaide in a prelim final, hostile environment. The team is exactly the same as it has been for the course of the season, and we get the win. A much needed win. 8 goals to 3 in the final quarter gets it done. Hugh McCluggage easily been our best player this year, and now we've got the grand final. Hopefully it's not against the Giants. It will be against the Giants. We've already lost to them twice this year. Hopefully we can get the job done in this grand final. Nick Vlosten in a back pocket, going to be doing good for us. Harris Andrews, 315 games right now. obviously he's played for a long time and hardly been injured in this series. He's been very, very good. Darcy Wilmot, 159 games. Chad Warner just signed with us this season. Jacob Wiedering, 280 games. Dane Zorko still playing somehow, 380 games. And then we get into the midfield. Fletcher, Sarong, Dunkley, 270 games. Hugh McCluggage, 285 games. Will Ashcroft coming into his prime. Max Gawn, 320 games. Can't believe we were able to steal him from Melbourne. Levi Ashcroft's over 100 games now. Logan Morris, the Coleman medalist. Jake Rogers, Jamie Elliott, 400 goals. Not going to crack the 300 games in this video. Cam Rayner's had an interesting season at full forward. What a lineup this has been for us, but let's see how we go. I got to turn off the minutes, bring it down to 2.5. And we're going to go retro in this one. I'm very much looking forward to this grand final. Toby Green, still the captain for GWS. He's been there since the start, as has Whitfield. Is there any other day one Giants? Not that I can see. Actually, Whitfield's technically not a day one Giant. He's a second year Giant, as is Kelly. Canelio's on the bench, so it's really only Toby Green and Canelio that are still there. But let's get into this one and wrap up this video in style. And it is absolutely perfect here at the MCG. Clear skies, no wind, and a beautiful, beautiful red footy being held aloft by the umpires. And Uncle Toby going to lead out the Giants in this one. We've already played them a few times in grand finals over the course of this series. Finn Callahan getting some game time at half forward. Or actually on a wing, excuse me. But I like the look of this orange kit that the Giants are wearing. But it's going to take our very best to beat them on this grand final day. Will the pride of Brisbane Town carry us through to victory here on grand final day? There's been a lot of changes over the course of these last 3 years. But a lot of our father-son and academy products are still in the core of this team. And Max, why is Max Gawn so short? Why on earth is he the same size as Levi Ashcroft? I don't know if that's a bug just because they're running through the race. We'll find out as they come out onto the middle of the ground. Maxie's height seemed to be okay in the national anthem, standing next to Harris Andrews and Fags. Hopefully, it's going to be fine for the game here today. Giants have called heads on the toss, and they have won the toss in this one. They're going to kick to the left of screen. Our game plan is secure. Win clearances, kick ass in the middle of the ground, and get the footy forward. Fletcher gets the first clearance of the day. And Kai Lohman, let's just send it forward over the top. Josh Dunkley can't take the mark. Quick kick forward. It's offline. A critical miss at the start of the grand final. Ball taken on the half volley by Uncle Toby. Levi, actually, that's Wilbur. Actually, I think it was Levi, and he has kicked it. What a kick from Levi Ashcroft, commonly known as Syndrome from The Incredibles. He has got a weird head. Perfect start in the middle of the ground by us. There's Will Ashcroft. How many times am I going to get those two mixed up in today's video? And now Tom Green sends it forward for the Giants. Now with Hannaford at half forward. And he's going to have a crack with that right boot of his. Outside 50. A capable kick. And that is wide. It's not going to be a goal. It's a mark on the goal line, but it's a rush behind. Clearing ball from Zorko down the line. Jamie Elliott takes the mark. Max Gawn in a paddock by himself. And we got Cam Rayner playing at full forward. He's had an interesting season. Probably not what he would have wanted from the start of the year. And Gawn, he's just sent it long. Too long, in fact. That's out in the full. But we get the intercept mark via Jake the Snake. Zorko takes the mark. It's a miss to the left-hand side, unfortunately. But we still have the lead. It's now 7 points. Now with Phoenix Gothard. Jacob Wiedering now gets the intercept mark at half forward, sending it towards... I think that's Caleb Sarong sitting under it. Can't take the mark, unfortunately. Jacob Wiedering getting amongst it once again. Jesse Hogan gets wrapped up. Kicks it backwards. Probably not what he would have wanted. But he's going to do the old-fashioned 1-2 with Toby Green. And it's going to work out well for the Giants. As Phoenix Gothard had the ball back, forces his way forward and takes the mark inside 50. Lining up for the Giants first. And he puts it through. Goals tied so far, but we have a 1-point lead. Gawn giving chase. He actually had the ball. I did not mean to... that's not what I wanted. I definitely thought he wasn't going to get there first, so I was lining up to tackle and panicked. Never mind. It's okay. It's not going to affect the scoreboard as we lead at quarter time. 1-2 plays 1-1. It's been a good start by both teams. The Giants providing a bit of a contest in this one, but I still remain confident that our team of champions are going to be doing just fine. Finn Callahan gets wrapped up, middle of the ground. Dunkley gets him with the tackle. Cam Rayner down at full forward. Ball goes to deck. Big fly from behind. Now with Lockie Ash. Sends it down the line. Toby Green getting amongst it once again. Great fist by Wiedering. Handball over the top. Probably not the wisest decision, but it's going to work out okay. No, it's not going to work out okay. We turn the ball over. Just too much panic. Too much panic. It's okay. We got space here. Rogers down to full forward. Taylor. Rayner. Rayner takes it. Lining up for his first of the day. Starts it wide. Swings it back beautifully. Brisbane have 2. Been a solid game plan from us so far. Now looking for McCluggage down the line. Can't find him. Jacob Wiedering, another intercept mark, does really well. McCluggage on Callahan wide. McCluggage takes it. Just weighing up our options. Let's send it down the line. Logan Morris. Can't take it. Himmelberg does really well in the end. Kai Lohman with the intercept mark. Going to be a tough kick from this pocket. Let's center the ball. Jamie Elliott. Can't take it in the square. Why did we stop running? I don't know why we did. Oh my goodness me. This match has been chaos so far. Smokin' Joe Richards sends it down the line. Jesse Hogan has been absolutely bodied in this one so far by Wiedering. Laying down his case for BOG as Chad Warner takes the mark. And this kick is not going to be a good one. No, not good. Dunkley has the ball now at half forward. Just weighing up his options. We've got a few players over the top. And Max Gawn crashes the pack. Takes a good mark. Has kicked a few goals from time to time over the course of his career. And he's done well in the ruck so far today. Easily had the number of Briggs. Puts through Brisbane's third. And we get out to an early 13-point lead. Really like what I've seen from these young Lions so far. The Big O getting his first taste of the action today. Rayner in the middle of the guts. Dunkley sends it forward. Jamie Elliott with the mark. Does really, really nicely. Getting his second contested mark of the day. Let's see if he can put this one through. That's really good. Expertly done by Jamie Elliott. 19-point lead here on Grand Final Day. Things starting to get a little bit out of hand for the Giants, but they're working the ball forward now. Wilmot sitting under it. Jesse Hogan's down there with Cadman. Great crumbs. Didn't see who it was, but it's a goal to the Giants. Brent Daniels with the excellent finish in the end. Doubling their score right now, but we can't afford to get complacent. Ball over the top. We do well. Rayner starting to get a bit of the ball in the middle of the ground. Another intercept by Rayner. Kicks it wide. Nobody home. Levi Ashcroft giving chase. Uncle Toby's going to get there first. We lay the tackle. We lay 3 tackles. Well done Well done. How was that ball up? Ball going forward for Brisbane. Actually, it's the Giants, but Wiedering, really good mark. Down the line, Zach Bailey sitting under it. Can't take the mark. Handball forward over the top. Ball just dropped in our forward line. What the hell was that? And the Big O takes the mark. Let's just send it forward. Hope for the best. Dunkley's down there. McCluggage is down there. Why are all the midfielders down there? And it's a rush behind. 17 gone in the third. Another dropped mark by Jesse Hogan. We pick up the pieces. McCluggage over the top. Allen's hit the post. Not a complete runaway of the game right now, but we're certainly in control of it. As Will Ashcroft, commonly known as Prince Charming from Shrek, takes the mark outside 50. And we're going to have a shot with the youngster, the Norm Smith medalist from last year. Can he repeat his performance today? Not going to be a goal. And it's a boundary throw in. 26 gone in the third. We need just a clean hit out. Kick on goal. It's out in the full, you idiot. But we are very much in control of the game. 1 goal, 2 to 1 straight in the third. McCluggage getting a lot of the ball. GWS actually controlling possession in this one. But we've got 1 quarter to go. 15-point lead. GWS would need to give absolutely everything to win this game. We can't get the hit out. That's incorrect disposal straight away. Let's send it long. We've got Ashcroft sitting down there of the Will variety. Prince Charming can't take the mark. As Jamie Elliott's going to stand the mark for him. Brave kick backwards to Harrison Oliver. We got to get to the ball. Smoking Joe Richards takes it a half-back for the Giants. Darcy Wilmot recovers the ball at half-back. Down the line now. Jai Clark. Hasn't seen a lot of it today, but has played a crucial role for us. Down the line once more. Ashcroft takes the mark. Let's go around the body. There's a bit of breeze now. Bit of dynamic weather. Let's swing it around. Put it through. Extend the lead out to a 21-point game, and you'd think that'd be safe. Levi Ashcroft at half forward. The Ashcroft boys just lining up this grand final. Rayner just stopped running. Why did he do that? Jeez, okay. Now Tom Green hasn't had a great deal of impact on today's game. Great fist from behind from the Big O. Wraps up Joe Richards. Just an outstanding athletic feat there by the big fella. Jamie Elliott sitting under this one. Connor Iden just too big and strong. 14 gone in the final quarter. Briggs on the run. Kicking it forward to no really anybody. But the Giants are actually going to end up with the ball. We tackle them. Now Phoenix Gothard once again. Harris Andrews has done a real number on Aaron Cadman as well. Both of our key backs have done very, very nicely. Ball fisted wide by the Whitfield. Boundary throw in, 18 minutes gone. Zorko sends it to the middle of the ground. Jamie Elliott trying to deal with Connor Iden once again, but just too small. Wiedering. He would have to be a shout for Norm Smith. He's done very, very well. Elliott, third time lucky. This time he does take the mark. Well done to the little fella. The controller has died. Now, this is probably not an opportunity. Actually, the batteries have just died, not the actual controller itself. Sometimes things just happen at the worst possible time, but it's not going to matter. As we win the grand final of 2028, the Brisbane Lions have done supremely well in this video. It took a little bit longer than we probably would have liked, but we get it done in the end, and that's all that matters. And it's time for the prezos. Who is going to get Norm Smith? My money's on Jacob Wiedering, because he was absolutely phenomenal in this one. And it looks like it's going to be Cam Rayner of all people. That is not, I did not expect him to get it. He did very, very well. Got a lot of the ball in that third quarter, but I did not expect him to get the Norm Smith medal. And possibly the most popular coach in the AFL by every metric, Chris Fagan gets his second Jock McHale medal. And here we go. Premiership Cup number 17 of the series. But it's going to be number 2 for the Brisbane Lions in the 2020s. Harris Andrews lifts that cup for a second time. And an outstanding performance in this grand final. 21-point victory in the end. Brent Daniels and Phoenix Gothard got goals for the Giants. Gawn, Elliott, Ashcroft, Rayner, and Ashcroft, funnily enough, got goals for the Lions. But yeah, McCluggage got the 9 disposals, most of them handballs. Jacob Riedering was my vote, got a lot of marks. And I believe he actually didn't lead the AFL fantasy. That was Tom Green. Even Will Ashcroft could have been a possibility for it. But a phenomenal, phenomenal game. And we get it done. As I said, Premiership number 17. Let's see who gets the individual awards. Hugh McCluggage, 34 Brownlow votes, does very, very well. In a Premiership year, gets the Brownlow medal, does a fantastic job. A lot of demons in that middle patch there. No other Lions at the top of this list. Aaron Cadman finishes in second. Thomas Sins finishes in first with 42 goals in the Coleman. McCluggage actually led the goal kicking for us, which is hilarious, alongside Logan Morris, tied on 37 goals. And then Topley for the Suns gets the Rising Star Award. Any All-Australians, I imagine there'll be a few. McCluggage is one, Logan Morris is another, but only the 2 All-Australians in this dominant season. That's it. The Lions get another premiership. Hopefully, they would have gotten another premiership on Saturday. I'm assuming they will, even though I have tipped Geelong. I'm assuming they will win because I think never. What's the right phrase I'm looking for here? Never dismiss the heart of a champion. That's what I'm trying to say. Kerno with the 96 behinds did very, very well. No, he didn't. He kicked 96 behinds in the season. Cadman kicked the 95. Logan Morris only kicked the 7. He was very good. Hugh McCluggage, 41 goals over the course of the year, was outstanding. But that is going to do it for today. My Port Adelaide rebuild, that's the only one I have left. Even though I've done every other club in the AFL, I am doing a separate series on Port Adelaide. So I'm probably not going to do that rebuild until next week. And then once I've done all 18 clubs, I plan on releasing all of the 18 clubs in like a one big video compilation that goes for like 18 hours that you guys can just binge watch to your pleasure, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But that's going to do it. Thank you very much for your support. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. And until then, I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.